Today, I thought we would go over some of the best tips and tricks for the new Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. A couple things that I changed first. If you go into settings and go down to display, you've got a few options to choose from here. You've got light and dark mode. Personally, I would turn off adaptive brightness. I know some people like to use adaptive brightness. I prefer to just control the brightness manually. You can also now go into motion smoothness. You can choose between adaptive or standard, which is going to be 60 or 90 Hz refresh rate. Obviously, the higher number you go with, it is going to cut into the battery life a little bit, but it's going to be a little smoother than the standard 60 Hz. Just sort of personal preference there. If you notice the screen is going to sleep more often than you would like, you can change it from 15 seconds all the way up to 30 minutes. You can also adjust the font size, but just keep in mind the larger you go, sometimes it does weird stuff and cuts words off. So I probably wouldn't go too much further or lower than somewhere in the middle. There's also a couple options for font style, or you can download fonts as well. Another thing that's nice about this tablet is now that you've got the taskbar down here at the bottom, sometimes I feel like that takes up extra space. But good thing is you've got a toggle right there you can turn on or off, depending if you want the taskbar on there or not. One nice thing about the taskbar, it makes it a little bit easier to do split screen just by tapping and dragging. You can also do a floating window as well. In the middle there's 3 dots where you can tap it to switch sides. One other thing you may want to do under display is the navigation bar. I know some people out there prefer swipe gestures. For me, I prefer the 3-button navigation, especially on tablets. Nice thing is you can change the button order, and you can even move it over to the left if you want. If you've used a Galaxy Tab A8, A7, one new thing about this tablet is it's got Samsung DeX, which is pretty nice to have on here. All you have to do is bring down the notification shade, and you should see it right here once you swipe over. Then it makes it look a little more like a regular PC or desktop. You've got your navigation buttons over here, search, all of your apps. You can also go back to just the regular software or power off the tablet as well. Then you've got screenshot, volume, notifications, you've got some shortcuts. Overall, it's just nice to have DeX as an option on here. Typically, you don't see that in more affordable tablets like this. You can also connect this to a keyboard and mouse to be a little more productive as well. One downside is this tablet doesn't have video out, so you wouldn't be able to just put a HDMI adapter into the charging port to connect this to an external monitor or TV. Like some of the other Samsung tablets, I don't feel like it's a deal breaker, just something I thought I would point out. You can also connect an external drive right to the charging port if you need to copy over large files, or it's just another easy way to get files from your tablet to another device. Now, this tablet is a little bit better as far as performance over the Galaxy Tab A8, but there's one thing you can do to make it just a little bit faster. If you go to accessibility, visibility enhancements, you can toggle here where it says remove animations. And then it just makes things load a little bit faster than by default. Nice thing is there's 3 different ways to use the keyboard on here. You can have it fill up all the way across the screen. You can have it split, so it's a little bit easier to reach everything. Or you can have it in a floating window where you can move it to pretty much anywhere on the screen. And then to get it back, you just hit the little icon there in the middle. Also under display and settings, if you turn on edge panels, you'll see a little transparent line over here on the side. Nice thing is if you tap and hold, you can move that up and down, or you can even move it to the left-hand side if you want. Sort of the same as the taskbar, you can drag an app from there right into split screen mode as well. You'll also notice if you go to recent apps, it still groups that split screen together. So you could go to another app, use that, and then come back to your split screen, and it's still gonna be in the same position. And then of course you can go to recent apps and you've got open and split screen view or pop-up view as well. So as you can see, there's several different ways to do split screen. Also, if you go into settings, under advanced features, under side button, you can double tap the power button to either quick launch the camera, or you can use it to open up pretty much any app on your tablet. There are a few motions and gestures, most of your basic stuff like palm swipe to capture. You can also double tap to sleep, double tap to wake up. Also, if you go into settings under lock screen, there's a few different things in here you might want to change. If you tap on lock screen, you can put in your contact information. You can put in contact information. Might be a good idea to put your family members' contact info in there. In case you lose your tablet and a nice person finds it, they could contact them and say, hey, I just found your tablet. Nice thing is you can adjust the clock style by changing the font. You can also make it a little bit larger. You can also change the style of the clock as well. And you've got different color options as well. Also, you can change what the icons are down in the corners. So if you don't want the camera and you want a calculator, or instead of Chrome, you want to play Asphalt 9 right from the lock screen. It's just nice to be able to change those to pretty much any app on the tablet and then just hit done. Also, if you tap and hold on the home screen and swipe over, you've got Google Discover or Samsung News. I probably like Google Discover a little bit better, but you do have the option of Samsung News in case you want that when you swipe over. You can also just kind of pinch the home screen to get to these settings as well. If you go to wallpaper and style, you can change your accent colors. You can dim the wallpaper when it's in dark mode. The default wallpapers there at the top, pretty much the same, just different colors. And then of course you can pick from your gallery, graphical or color options. Or the one I probably like the most is the dynamic lock screen, where it's gonna show different things like cats, dogs, animals, art, plants, just lots of different things that it'll cycle through. Then every time you go to unlock it, it's gonna have a different wallpaper. If you go into settings and go down to where it says battery and device care, more battery settings. The only one that's not turned on is protect battery. Basically, that's going to make the battery last a little bit longer by not letting it go up past 85% when charging. Definitely something you probably want to consider if you plan on keeping this tablet for a long time. So that's about all the time I have for this one. Hopefully this video was helpful. I feel like there's a ton of other things you can do on this tablet, but hopefully this will get you started off in the right direction. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.